Hey marathoners, so if you're doing the New York City Marathon, I've got a bunch of great pieces of advice specific to that event for you that came from runners who have ran that event themselves. What you're about to learn are things that stuck out enough to these marathoners for them to mention it to me when I asked on social media, which goes to show that you will be better off during the race by knowing this information. I'm not going to overload you with a bunch of stuff though. What's great is that among the comments, a lot of these things were similar or the same. Such as Jeremiah here, who suggested taking the ferry to the start as it offers better views of the Statue of Liberty versus taking more public transportation. And you just want to be mindful, if you get seasick, don't go with this option. Now, no matter how you get to Staten Island, as Pablo reminds us, be aware that it will likely be a while from when you wake up, from when you get there to when you actually start your event. Could be that this marathon has the longest wait time out of any event in the world. So it could be that you might even start closer to lunch than breakfast. So don't forget to bring a second breakfast. A runner I coach from New York City who has done this event in the past said to schedule an Uber the night before for that morning to take you to wherever the race transport is meeting. She also said to wear more clothing, way more clothing for the morning of than you think you may need. So keep this in mind, as the average starting temperature in the morning is low 50s, which is perfect running weather, but quite cool when you're standing around. And if you do get cold, Kate here has a really cool suggestion to grab a free Dunkin' Donuts coffee and beanie. You'll probably not want to wear the beanie for too long in the actual run. I would stash it somewhere to make a cool little free memorabilia. And if you really want one and you forget it or you don't grab one, you can get them off eBay afterwards. Once you do finally get going, it's actually uphill from the start to the high point of the race, 1 mile in. And it's coincidentally the world's largest urinal, the 13,000 square foot Verrazano Bridge. It's 2 levels and people often pee off the side of it. It's a mile in, they've been hanging out in the corrals for a while. They pee off the side. So if you're on the lower level, stay away from the edges because that's not rain coming down. Aside from the precipitation, the tricky part with this uphill first mile start is to not start too quickly. You're gonna feel amazing. You're finally getting to run. You're all pumped up. New York is playing. But you must be mindful of the 6 P's. Proper pacing prevents piss poor performance. Take your time going up the bridges. You do not want to push them too hard and expire, losing some of your stamina for later on in the event. The same holds true for running down the bridges, which eccentrically loads your quads. And you push those too hard, you're gonna just do more damage to your quads. So take the climbs easy up to preserve your stamina and take them easy down to preserve your quads. Now I have runners training for such events do uphill and downhill repeats in preparation for things like this. Something that is frequently mentioned to me about this course is that the bridges, and especially Central Park, often catch people off guard. If you look at the overall elevation profile, it's pretty flat looking. Now, some say Central Park is harder than you'd think. My local New York runner said that it's not that big of a deal because there's people cheering you on. You have that I'm almost done adrenaline kicking in. But Queensboro, on the other hand, is a very quiet part of the race. It's a long, slow uphill bridge thrown at you 15 miles in. The course remains pretty darn flat from mile 18 to 23 or so, but you do get into some pretty decent climbing during the last few miles around Central Park, and you're gonna be better off having paid attention to your pacing during that first half, the first 2/3 of the event, so you're not one of those runners who had a really great first half and then you're barely moving forward during the last 10K. Run smart, finish strong. It's also important to be aware of the aid stations and fueling options like Boston and Chicago. New York does not allow you to wear full hydration vests. So for Boston, what I did is I started the race with a handheld bottle with 320 calories in it. I sipped on that over the duration of the first full hour or so, and then I ditched it an hour in. I thought about keeping it for hydration, but I just took from the aid stations along the way, and I had my own gels with me from there on. And you can do a fuel belt or carry a handheld if you want. But all the best information in the world about the race isn't going to help you if you don't fuel appropriately. Research suggests that you can take 5 to 10 minutes off a marathon time by following a science-based fueling strategy versus just winging it with your own lackluster nutritional plan, to be honest. So if you want to learn more about this exact nutrition plan that had runners averaging 10 minutes faster for the Frankfurt Marathon, check out this video right here.